Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. This video I've kind of wanted to do for a while. It's not a gaming video. It's more of a video about like my experience in college. So coming up this fall semester is my hopefully my final semester in college, and I know my friend, she did a video of this, and I've seen a few people do videos where they talk about college, and I've actually wanted to do this for a while. I haven't been able to think of a good time or a good way of doing it, so let me just do this. I thought, why not just do it now? There's not going to be a better time to do it, so I'm just going to do it. Little disclaimer, this is not saying don't go to college or anything like that. In fact, I did actually have some good times. There are going to be 3 pictures that I'm going to put up right now that they show I had some fun. Not to mention, I got to go to Puerto Rico, got to go to LA or California this past fall, and Disneyland with my friends. So like that's some stuff I got to do, like with research. I got to present some stuff at a conference in Puerto Rico, so that's why I went to Puerto Rico, and same thing for California. But I mostly want to talk about like the main thing of this is just talking about my experience. I know I said that, but I'm gonna try and get the ball rolling. So going into college, that summer after I graduated, it wasn't that good. I spent most of my time sleeping and going to the eye doctor. A picture's gonna pop up right now showing you what I looked like. I actually got an infection in this eye, this lens right here. It's a false lens. They say I'm partially blind, but I'm getting used to it. I've gotten used to it. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure if you could see it on the camera, but I have a scar there. It's better. You can see it better in the picture, but doing that, like literally during my graduation, about the time I graduated, I had pink eye. So we went to the doctor. They gave me like the eye drops. Then one day after my friend's graduation party, I came home and I was gonna put my eye drops in, but then I noticed like there was something on my eye. Went to the emergency room, and turns out there was something eating at my eye, and it turned into an ulcer. And I actually almost lost my eye that summer. But they were able to stop it, and if I close it, I can make out figures. But going to college, I had that against me, where I was like, something like just happened. But it wasn't until I actually took some of the classes where I knew like I was gonna enjoy myself. So at the beginning, I was choosing between 2 majors, nursing and computer science. I literally flipped a coin, and I ended up in computer science. And honestly, back then, I'm glad. Like actually, to this point, I'm still glad I took those classes. I stick by my decision of taking computer science, but like as the classes went on, the harder it got, of course. I actually I'm gonna talk about that part later. So come the first semester, I learned like the beginning, the intro stuff in computer science, and I knew I made the right decision. But come the second semester, that's where things kind of changed. So come the second semester, I kind of stopped playing video games like a lot. In fact, I didn't really have that much time, and I just started getting really stressed out. Then I fell behind in one of my classes, and actually two of my classes. I had to actually drop 2 classes. So the first class I dropped was Cal 1. I was not ready for that. And coming from high school where I was always in like the AP math classes, that was like a eye-awakener. But it was also something with the professor who I ended up retaking later. But the other class I dropped was the weed out class for computer science. I dropped it because I was not doing that good. Come our first test, the professor said, you will know if you need to drop this class or not. I was the lowest score. I had 32, if I'm not mistaken, on that test. So I dropped it, and he was actually the hardest professor that I took, or the hardest professor for that course, which in all honesty I'm glad I took it, because I asked him if it was alright if I could still show up to class. He said sure, and once I retook it the following semester, I passed with a B. I could have honestly gotten an A, but I'm a bad test taker. Like, everyone says, oh, you're a bad test taker, blah. Like, they come up with reasons why you're not a bad test. No, I am a bad test taker. But I'll explain. That'll probably be a video in the future. So the fact that I had to drop 2 classes did discourage me to some point. In fact, every year that I've been in college, I've had some type of like moment where I've actually called them breakdowns, because I do break down, and I'm just, why am I doing this? Like, I do question sometimes, like, did I make the right choice in going into computer science or just doing college in general? But like, actually thinking from a like, where those thoughts are out of my head, like, even when they were in my head, I knew like computer science was for me. So every year I did have that moment where, why am I doing this to myself? It's only gonna get harder. And being a AB person in high school, I was not like seeing like C's like more often than usual, and in a class that's like the main, like, on my course to my major, that was discouraging. But eventually I realized, like, there are some points where, like, in high school, when you didn't do a assignment, you would just most of the time just not turn it in. But one thing you learn in college is turn it in anyway. If the last due date isn't passed, turn it in, because anything is better than a 0, because that 0 hurts. And you could have straight A's as soon as you get like a 0 on a big lab or some type of big assignment. That knocks you from an A to almost a B, or depending on how the percentages is, to a B. And that doesn't sound bad, but what if you're in that B column? You go from a B to a C. If you're in that C, a C to a D, and so on. So that, seeing those as often as I did, it did hurt, and it added on to the, why am I doing this? I'm barely staying afloat. Like, stuff like that. And honestly, I was the one. There were times where it's like, it wasn't as bad, so I can kind of knock myself out of it. But it was also the friends that I made in college that pulled me out of that. Like, they helped me whenever I was stuck on an assignment, or like just digging myself deep in that thought. In fact, the last big one that I remember, I was actually in tears because I was a part of in one of my programming classes, I was part of a group project, and one of my partners, me and the other partner, never got in contact with. So we were going to do the assignment by ourselves because we emailed them and they didn't reply till like halfway through the project, and they gave us code that didn't even work. In fact, it was wrong most of the time. They didn't show up to class, and so, okay, whatever. We're gonna do it. So we met one time after class, kind of discussed okay, this is the format we want, this, stuff like that. But when I was in the group with this member, when I would I was doing the framework of just to get this project started, she wanted it a specific way. So we had to restart our project 3 times just because she wanted a GUI. And if you don't know what a GUI is, it's an interface. So she, instead of having text, oh, I'm gonna enter the text and say I want to check out this movie, just have a button. She wanted that, but also she wanted it to look perfect. And if it was you have your line and one button was slightly off, you had to literally restart. She would scrap the project. And that's what it felt like. In fact, doing that 3 times, and yeah, it was a little better, but we didn't even have basic functionality working. And it got to the point where I was behind in some of my classes. And some of those classes were pretty hard, like computer graphics. I got behind on 2 labs because it was the final week of this group project, and she threw me under the bus and said, I don't want to work on this project anymore. I don't want to touch the code anymore. So I did break down, and I was, oh my god, I gotta get this working, and at least get a 70. I'll ask to change the group later. I just gotta get this working. I'm running out of time. I was pretty much like that, and all I remember, because I was I felt like I was alone at that moment. A group member had just pretty much sabotaged our project just because it wasn't to her liking. And the thing is, she didn't even work on her part. And when she did do code, it was way different. She wanted the interface, but she coded it to take in text, which, thinking of it now, I could have probably adapted it, but it was the way I remember it coded was it would have taken more time to adapt it. And she was just, oh well, it's your code doesn't work. If the thing with group projects and coding in the class that we did, we all separated the work, so variable names and all that, it's gonna be different. So you would just have to merge it and just convert stuff. But she didn't want to do that. She just wanted, okay, here's your code, and it worked. And that, I just snapped, and I just started crying. And it was actually thanks to my friends that I was able to kind of at least get a 70. They told me, oh, it's okay, we'll try and help you as much as we can. But the first thing they wanted me to do was just walk. So I walked away from it, and actually I walked my little away from the code wasn't that long, because I had to they helped me a lot, But it was one of those moments where, even with it, it was up to me. Like, they also had assignments, so I didn't want to put too much of a burden on them. So I had to snap out of whatever funk I was in. I literally ran back to the area we were, and I started working on code, and I got it to where we got 70. So this is like in the middle of the semester. So that was like the last big breakdown I had. In fact, this past semester I was like, why? But honestly, the answer is you're just around the corner, finish it. And I have no intention of dropping out just because I've put in so much work into it, and I haven't, this is no offense if you have, like, you're one semester away and you dropped out, no offense to you, but like, my thinking is like, I'm already there, I'm gonna continue. Like, I know there are certain circumstances where people do have to drop out, even if they're like so close. I probably don't fall into any of those circumstances, but like, my thing is like, I'm already there, so just finish it. It's like quitting at the end. To me, thinking of it the way I'm doing it, it's like, okay, I see the finish line in a race, but it's like right there in front of me, and if I were to drop out, it's like, okay, just walk away. That's only when I think of it about me. If I think about it for any other person, I can't, because I'd be judging them, and I do not judge people, or I try not to. Like, first impressions, I do like get an idea, but for starters, I kind of keep it to myself. But at the same time, I do not hold it like anything against anyone. Like, if I have an idea of, oh, this person's probably this person, like the way they act, then I try and get to know them, and 99% of the times it's like proven wrong. I think one time I was like dead on with a person, and like with a personality, but like I used to be bullied when I was a kid, which that'll be another video later. And I don't want to judge someone just by the way they look, or I just want to, like, I want to get to know people. Like, I enjoy having friends and all that. So, but yeah, college in general, this is what I want to say. After that little story, like, I appreciate what I've gone through. At the beginning, I did want to like go in, oh, I'm gonna make video games and all that. I actually did make a video game for a coding jam. I don't think you could see this. Like, this is a little plot for kind of a text-based. At the beginning, it started off as a text-based game. I wanted to eventually make it to where you have a little sprite moving back and forth. I might actually bring that back, but it was kind of inspired by the game. I did a stream of it, and I also uploaded to YouTube. That I did a while back, excuse me, called Daylight, and like, just knowing how to do it. Eventually, I do want to make my own game and all that, but like, my point is, if you have the chance to go to college, I say do it, because you learn a lot there. You get a lot of opportunities that you have a chance to get a lot of opportunities. If I hadn't gone to college, I wouldn't have gone to go to Puerto Rico to meet all these good people, all these like close friends I have, that I get to joke around, make bets like, oh, if you lose, you're gonna go bald. Like, I 100% enjoy it. Like, yeah, the drawback is those times when I have those feelings like, why am I putting myself through this? But in the end, you do have to make. There are some times where you do have to go through sacrifices, and in the road I'm taking, those are one of the sacrifices where it's like I will be overwhelmed with assignments and all that, but me conquering them makes me stronger inside. I will. It's a learning experience. Some people might view it differently, but this is just my view of what I've gone through. Like, in the end, it's what you take from it, from what has been given. So, this story could have been completely different. Like, I dropped out of college because I couldn't take the pressure or something. Like, honestly, but I'm gonna keep going as far as I can go. And yes, I would love to. I'm actually taking some of the stuff that I've learned into making videos, streaming, and all that. Like, it is a challenge. I'm not gonna lie, but in the end, to me, it's worth it. So, if you have those scholarships, strongly consider taking those, going into college. If you don't have the financial aid at the moment, and if you were to go to college and have to take out loans, try and figure out what you want to do. Like, I am on loans, student loans, which I'm gonna have to pay back when I graduate. But the fact that I actually found my major, like, I had a few friends that kind of switched their major 3 times in the first few years of college. So that's, and it actually turned out well for them. For me, I took a chance by flipping that coin, and I do not wish to turn back. For starters, I get a funny story. Oh, how'd you get into computer science? I flipped a coin. So, that's my story. I hope y'all took something from it in a positive way. I did not want to discourage anyone to going to college, or offend anyone who dropped out or have different views. This is just my opinion. The reason why I'm doing like this type of video is I kind of want my viewers to kind of know me better, and like, yes, I really want this channel to primarily be gaming, but at the same time I do want to do those fun skits. In fact, I have one skit that I just need to get the tripod so I can use this camera, and an idea that I've had since 2013, 2014. It's in one of my journals that I have like the lines written out that I've been wanting to do this for years, and I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna dive into it. Right now I'm gonna try and record some of the gameplay. It is a video game like story that I'm gonna be telling, but I think like my idea, it's pretty cool. Like, I've actually, like, if this was a TV show, I have like this first season, and I've actually have the second and I think the third. Like, I have an idea of like the third season, so it's like I have so many ideas up here that I'm gonna try and start doing. But I also want like these videos where I talk to whoever watches my videos, like, so I can kind of like showing like I don't know, like, even though I am a small YouTuber, like I want to show like I'm not just the person behind the camera. I'm going through, yes, I go through hard times too, but kind of like motivate people. Like, everyone goes through these hard times, and it's how you tackle, like, in my my views, it's how you tackle the problem. Like, it's like a butterfly effect. How your choices will affect what's going on with what's it called? Your choices will affect like how the outcome happens, and not only that, it's what you take out from it, be it positive, be it negative. It's a learning experience in the end, and should a problem like that come up, you'll have an idea of how, like, a better way of taking it. So like that's just my opinion, but I did not plan on going on for 26 minutes. That's the thing about these videos. Like, when I start talking, I kind of ramble a little bit, but most of the time it's connected somehow. But I do plan on doing some of these videos where it's like a story time to where I'm actually going to tell the story about me going bald in another video. I know there's already, like, the events that happened, it's already on the channel, but I'm gonna tell it, and maybe I'll explain some of these other pictures. Actually, those two, the pictures are better than the stories. Like, it just happened. But other than that, thanks for watching, and remember, just remember the point of this video that I wanted to tackle was, yes, we all have problems, but just how you take care of these problems and what you learn from them, that will affect your future. That's all I gotta say. If you want to see more, well, I say at the end of the video, subscribe and click that icon so you can be notified whenever I have a video up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.